was the biggest fuck you, Brad, you could have done last time.
I broke your brain.
Trying to win, Brad? What are you about here, Brad? Are you about just fucking your players, or are you about enabling them to succeed?
Fucking his players. It's not about enabling you to success.
Okay. I just wanted it called out to the public.
This is not a peer mentorship program. I am not your director of operations or your director or direct report. You know,
it's a peer mentorship program. Just not with you. Four of us. We mentor each other into succeeding.
I'm sorry. What am I a part of right now?
This is actually called this is called CTRPG Anonymous. It's therapy for role playing game players.
My name's Eric, and I'm addicted.
My name's Brad, and I am GM fuckery. All right, get them out of your system if you're going to do them.
Not any more of that crunch, Eric.
Maybe
that crunch.
It's the arm scratch for me. In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war, and tonight there is only Warhammer. Welcome to the Tainted Hive, the first season of our Warhammer 40,000 Imperium Maledictum podcast. I'm your GM, Brad, guiding our ragtag group. Joining me today are Justin, Eric, Mike, and the potentially soon-to-be-dead Alex. With that, let's jump into the 13th episode. Gentlemen, happy Warhammer night.
You know, I think you need to retract some of this negativity. Let's start on a more positive.
I'm manifesting
off base and off key, sir.
Why would you manifest the death of a beloved character, sir?
You still have fate, so you could burn it. You'll be fine.
Oh, I'm going to be fine.
You do have fate. You do have faith.
Speaking of, when do we regain some of that shit?
We never do, because that's when we get XP, right, Brad?
So actually,
never.
Oh, thank you so much for that. Actually, we just hit the point. So today is the point when you guys get your fate points back at the start of today's episode. Yeah. So anything you have spent, not burned, you will regain. I don't think any of you have burned a fate yet. So
I did, which makes this perfect timing, because I think I was out of fate.
You spent it.
Mordecai
is burning it is bad. You don't get it back. Spending
no. I burned it to shoot her in the head on the last episode.
He chose a crit 11.
Oh, that's right. That is burning.
Yeah.
So you don't get that back.
Nope. It was for the Emperor. It was worth it.
It was for the God Emperor. Now, do you have any fate remaining?
I do now. You just said I do.
We start with 3, so you would be down 2 at least.
I have 2.
Oh, okay. Good. So
I only burned
still
one.
Your pool is refreshed. You still have a pool. You just that makes perfect sense. All right. Well, let's start with what happened last time in the Tainted Hive. Back in episode 12, with you all having episode 11 and episode 12 recap kind of blended here just to help you guys out, because there was a lot that happened in those short times. As you guys made your way and had been within the Edifice of Tears, that bar at the feet of this, colossal statue that could have been a member of the Ecclesiarchy, it could have been a member of the Adeptus Administratum. Frankly, you didn't know, and no one was 100% sure. But as you were in that bar, Mordecai, you elected to follow Aragon as he left the bar. Now, as that was happening, Quentin, Roderick, and Dmitry were focused on creating a bit of a distraction using a few members of the PDF, which is the Planetary Defense Force, as well as a little bit of an additional distraction to try to get information from Rigel, who was in the bar. And as a GM, it hurts my soul to say you were beyond any level of success I could have hoped for. Like, I love when you guys succeed. And I'm not mad that you did this, but dang, if you didn't just jump straight to the end here. So Quentin managed to find not only where Rigel gets the gratis from, which is the Amaranthine, he also managed to find where they are and the exact route on how to get there, because I think you said you pulled like the last year of his life.
Yeah.
So
I could pull information out of that.
Oh, God. So as you basically data downloaded Matrix style an entire year of his life into your brain, Mordecai.
Yeah.
You did every GM's favorite thing, and you split the party so hard.
Yeah, I didn't split it very evenly, though. I think that's where I went wrong.
So You followed Aragon through the lower levels back to one of the lifts and then elected to follow him up, and you found that he rose all the way back to the Mudgate. And once in the Mudgate, he followed a semicircuitous path. Circuitous? A semicircular path. I can't even speak.
Circuitous.
Thank you. A semicircuitous path heading through some of the different ship bays to meet with people, handing gratis off and collecting solars on the way. Very easy to see that the vials that were inside of his coat when you first met him were back. As he reached a particular bay, a ship had come in from orbit and landed, rusted, old, beaten. And 4 individuals stepped off that ship. 4 individuals with a very interesting appearance, we'll say. Now, as you watched this interaction, you saw as he was beckoned over, and being as far away as you were, Mordecai, you could thankfully read lips and saw the individual who spoke to Aragon asking about the agents of Halicarn. Recognizing they were looking for you, you managed to aim down your now silenced sniper rifle.
And let them know?
And let them know exactly where you were. But first and foremost, you successfully burned a point of fate to immediately auto-crit one of the 4, smashing through the jaw, blowing chunks of tissue and teeth out of their face. You were shocked to see that they didn't immediately die, as another member of the group reached down to scoop them up to take them back onto the ship. You fired again, shooting him through the back, also critically wounding him. He is still standing, though, and he is carrying her back to the ship as the other 2 whip around and see you. Now, you took off at a run, trying to get away from them as they pursued. So, when we left off last time, you were getting ready to find a way to get away from them. You hadn't yet elected where, and they were closing that gap.
1 point?
Yes.
I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think I pulled a smoke grenade and dropped it at my feet.
You did drop a smoke grenade
and then I moved diagonally.
Yes.
To the next zone.
Correct. So as they were pursuing, we left off with you dropping that smoke grenade and moving diagonally. Now, Roderick was beginning to make his way Diagon Alley. Roderick was beginning to make his way towards you in the lower levels, trying to get to the maglift as you were using the psychic connection to basically GPS broadcast, not your location, but a repetitive radio message of holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. So, as we pick up today, let's first jump down to Dmitry and Quentin, where the Edifice of Tears is now coated in a permanent hoarfrost, with Quentin having purged his warp charges with a little bit of stress there. Quentin and Dmitry, you both have the information that you want from Rigel. And as you were leaving the Edifice of Tears together, as we left off last time, you had seen an individual in what appeared to be a set of robes that shined and shimmered like liquid promethium, like oil, preaching to the huddled, bedraggled masses at the feet of this statue of new ways to praise the Emperor. So,
I think would that have been Roderick that saw that? Because Quentin and I are still in.
Are you still in?
We're
disregard.
about to dip. We have
I'm covering his exit, so we are waiting with bated breath to see what happens there.
That's a bad note. Let's roll that back. Roderick, you were running past and you saw this. I remember last time you did not do anything with it. You just kept moving towards Mordecai, correct?
I don't remember. Why don't you explain the whole thing to me again, Brad?
Because this recap was, all right, you had left the bar, and as you left the bar, there was an individual at the feet of the Edifice of Tears, at the actual statue, preaching to the bedraggled masses. He was wearing a set of robes that shimmered like liquid promethium or oil, and all you caught as you had been beginning to leave, you're right, Dmitry, thank you for the correction, was him saying that he was there to teach new ways to praise the Emperor. And beyond that, I
wouldn't do anything with that. I was in a hurry.
Okay. Sounds like heresy to me.
Then Quentin and Dmitry, you not getting that piece, but leaving the bar at this point. You have what you want out of Regel. Now, Quentin, he did successfully know that you were in his brain. So, let's start with you two. Are you going to sever the connection now that you have everything you need?
Basically, since you're telling me that I do, I'm going to, yes.
You have a year of his life. I don't know that you need much more.
I'm going to break the connection, and I'm going to start, I guess, since I don't know if we're still doing it in turn order.
Yes.
I'm going to move out of the zone.
Okay.
And then, as my action, I am going to purgation again.
Again? Oh.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
Let me get these war charges down, and also I need a distraction.
Now, when you purgated last time and created the Hoarfrost, what did that drop you to? Because you had been above
I'm down
10.
to 8.
You're down to 8 currently, so you're trying to drop it again.
Yes.
Okay. It is still considered stressful.
Yep.
I'm just hoping he fails. I'm really just hoping he fails.
No, I pass. It's going to be +2.
Okay.
You know, Brad, I really don't like how much you're rooting for us to fail right now. Like, I know you're not on our side.
I'll be honest, I'm kind of hoping that he continues to root for us to fail, because then I get to play.
Well, that's boring. It's another horror for us.
Because then you get to play, Dmitry.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So another Hoarfrost. Yeah, that doesn't do much. Because it's a lingering effect, you just blast even more ice and it just becomes a little more slick. Okay, so you're going to move a zone away and do that. And then anything else you're going to do? Are you going to start running, or what's next?
That was my action and my movement. And my free action was dropping the connection, so I'm done.
Okay.
That's all I can do in my turn.
Okay. So, Dmitry, you would be next in the initiative order.
Question for that is, I'm out of the bar now?
If you moved a zone away, you'd be at the gate of the bar right next to Dmitry leaving. Yes.
Okay.
So you were in basically the center of the bar. The next zone out is basically the edge of the bar because you have to weave through so many tables.
Okay. I just want to make sure I know where I was.
So, watching him make his way to the exit, do I get any sense that he was noticed or identified?
So, you do. You see as Regel's head, because he were in his brain, he did have advantage on the attempt to try to find you, Quentin, which was just barely, it's still 10. 10 is near damn impossible, but just barely enough. He did notice Quentin moving away as his head kind of snaps in that direction.
So I see that.
You
I do
absolutely
have one question in regards to that.
Yeah.
Am I attired correctly currently for the environment that I'm in?
I would assume so. I mean, you're wearing your standard
I am
robes,
also
right?
unremarkable, so I would blend into the environment pretty thoroughly.
Yep.
And is he an influential person? Because if he is, he would generally ignore me unless attention is drawn specifically to me.
He's not that level of influence where that rule comes in, unfortunately for you.
Damn it. Let's hope it would.
He's actually just low enough on the pecking order. Like, he's higher than you guys, but low enough where that influential piece won't come in because he's not one of those. And the way we're looking at it is because you did literally physically invade his brain with your psychic powers and rip a year of his memories to your own mind, and then immediately move away. Those factors, coupled with the fact that I rolled, I don't know that I could roll
to be
much
fair,
better.
everyone's moving away because there's a fight breaking out.
That is also true. There is a brawl breaking out between the PDF and some of these Valathi.
Okay.
But all of that coupled together with how he rolled, which with advantage is about as good as it could be, barely gets him there to find you.
Fair enough.
And I see this.
Oh yeah, you said you were watching Quentin specifically, so I'm going to say that because you're watching where he's moving, you see as Regel kind of follows him as he moves away.
All right. So what I would like to do, well, first, the entire bar is going to hear, "For the 502nd," which, as I would have learned through carousing with these PDF wannabes, that is their unit.
It is.
No,
not the 502nd. I think
I
you
made that shit up, but
you did learn last time. I will tell you what you learned. It was the 4/12.
oh, sure. Doesn't have the ring I was hoping for, but sure. For the 4/12. And I'm finna huck that frag grenade.
I fucking knew you were gonna huck that frag grenade.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. So, do you have the stats for a frag grenade up in front of you?
I do.
All right.
The one part I'm not clear on is the thrown piece. I think I use my range skill for that.
You are going to use your ballistic skill. Yep. So, well, actually, I think you can just use your strength because you're chucking it.
Well, that's the part I wasn't understanding.
So, because it is technically a ranged attack, so we're going to say that means it uses your ballistic skill for a blend of strength and accuracy.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're going to test against your BS.
Against my BS. Okay.
Yeah. So, actually,
Sounds like
grenades.
BS
I
to
just
me,
quickly
Brad.
brought up their profile. They are considered a ranged weapon under the subtype of grenades and explosives, which is a specialization.
So then am I using my ranged skill or
You
my
are.
ballistic skill?
You're going to use your ballistic skill, and then ranged is what you're actually going to test. So ranged is
Ranged.
skill.
Okay. I just wanted to
Ordnance.
know because those are two different values.
Yep. Use your ranged, and then
Okay.
subclass is ordnance if you have any specializations.
Don't have that. So
I'm actually shocked you don't have a specialization in ordnance just because you're you.
I'm a medic.
I said what I said.
So much
I don't know
judgment.
when that's ever stopped you before, Mike.
Right?
So fair. So I rolled a 35. So that's 47. So that's one success level.
Okay. Now, Quentin is in
And-
your zone with you, so are you just moving it one zone over then with your range check?
Into the zone of the Valathi knives, like they're where because he was sitting right there
Oh, shit.
by
Yeah.
them. So I'm
He's
hugging
gonna
it.
grenade them.
I'm gonna grenade them to
Okay.
distract. I'm gonna distract them, guys. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah,
That's all I'm doing.
That's a
All I'm
distraction,
doing is
all right.
distract. This
All
was
right.
my role in this endeavor.
You're not throwing an M80, dude. It's a frag grenade.
So grenade has the traits of blast, loud, thrown, and unstable. So we need
The
to
show.
look up what unstable does because I should have known you were going to huck that grenade, and I should have read this before tonight.
I
and
think
definitely
unstable applies to if I fumbled it.
Yeah, I
What?
think it potentially can go up in his face.
Yeah, it
didn't.
definitely
I
can.
think you're right. All right, grenades. You threw a
But it
flat,
is for
a
real
frag
loud.
munition, blah 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 blah. Frag grenades
Yeah.
have a large radius. That's important, and deal a lot of damage. Lovely for us. Okay.
When you fumble, it self-destructs.
Yep. So you didn't fumble it. You made it away. That's good across the board. Blast. When you use a weapon with a blast trait to attack, you target a zone within range. You did that. It was within medium range. Make a single range skill test, which you did.
For the Emperor.
And they have to use their reaction to make an opposed reflexes dodge test. Okay. Well, let's have some fun, I guess.
Dmitry is so going to the warp or hell or whatever it is, but
All right. So I need
He's
to
here
make,
for it.
I need to
Abyss
make
hell.
8 different tests. Oh God, for dodge, this is going to be fun. Okay.
Quentin, I got you, man. You're getting out of here.
I appreciate
So
it.
reflexes dodge. What are... You don't have any specializations in dodge, and neither do you, which means we are just testing pure reflexes. This is going to be great. Agility it is. All right, so if they succeed, they use their reaction to make the test. What was your roll again for your range test? Because they have to beat you. This is opposed.
35.
35. Okay, how many success levels is that against your range skill?
+1, he said.
1
Thank you.
+1.
Well, let's just start this off strong. And I rolled Rigel first with the nice purple dice. And that's a solid 98 auto failure.
Perfect.
This is about where I would like the A-Team music to just pop in, and for Hannibal's voiceover to, I love it when a plan comes together.
Passive. Okay, that's a critical failure, so that's great. You have a +1 success level. They do have a dodge skill. That's good. What is their dodge skill? Not good enough. Oh, good lord. That is a +0, -1. -1, -1. Oh, good god.
Question about you, Dmitry. Did you do your superiority when you threw that?
I didn't.
Factor in your superiority, make it a +2.
So that'd be a
So
2.
+2 then? Okay. Missed that.
Superiority just automatically adds +1 to everything, right?
You can choose to one test to increase it by.
Got it.
That's
I
right.
finally had someone
I forgot
get a
about
+2.
we started that.
Someone
Okay.
got a +2, but what is your ranged skill?
47.
Nope, they have a lower skill.
Good old tiebreakers.
There's a +3. Okay, so one of eight successfully goes frag and jumps sideways, and it crumps in the center of the bar. Bar glass shatters, flying outwards in shrapnel, and Dmitry and Quentin, I need you both to make a reflexes dodge check right now, please, as all of the
Reflex
glassware
dodge
of the
check.
bar is exploding outwards with this blast.
Oh, that's a lucky fucking roll.
I'm
+3.
going to use a fate.
Use a fate? Okay.
Yeah. 2.
I can't believe you just fragged a bar.
33 to.
I can't believe we
you
didn't
said
do it sooner.
reflexes?
Reflexes dodge if you have it. Yep.
Okay, so that's a negative. We still have superior. That doesn't apply to this, right?
Superiority will not apply to this.
Okay, so then -1 for me.
Okay. This is because this is not a true opposed roll. This is the consequences of your own actions because you just exploded a grenade next to a bunch of glassware.
Sure.
Chunks of glass fly outwards. Dimitri, you're just going to
Naturally.
suffer 1 wound. Quentin, you suffer 0 for succeeding. So Dimitri,
So-
glass just kind of like scrapes across open flesh.
So sorry to pause here again.
Yeah.
How does armor work in this? Is it the same? Like
So
one wound and we.
Are you fully armored, whole body?
Mm-hmm.
But your face is exposed?
I have a helmet. I don't know how that works.
He's got like
You
flak
tell-
armor, doesn't he?
It's not like a full. I mean,
I was going to say,
we all know what an IG helmet looks
yes.
like, but
The other question is, are you currently wearing your helmet at a bar?
I'm gonna say no. That's dumb as hell.
Then we will say
I'm gonna
this.
say no.
I will give you
That
the
would be
option
so
here.
lame.
Yeah,
No,
I'll give you the
don't.
option.
That would be lame as shit. If
No,
I
no.
was wearing a helmet
Just
in
be
the
a
bar.
tool. It's fine,
No,
dude.
I'm getting made fun of, and that entire PDF encounter would have went way different.
Would have went way different.
I wouldn't have been wearing that.
Here's your option then, Dmitry, because you are. I'm assuming then you're just wearing your flak as you normally are. Your body would be perfectly protected, so you can either suffer 1 wound or a non-wound causing distinguishing scar as a chunk of glass lacerates from the right of your nostril to your ear and creates just a jagged line. on your
Fuck
face.
yeah!
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's happening.
Mark that on your character sheet. You now have a distinguishing
It's-
scar of a laceration
it's-
across your left cheek.
You say
Is
that
that
like
even
it's
a
tough
negative?
choice for him.
Yeah,
no,
exactly. Like I would
dude,
take one of those for sure.
I'll put this right under my brand.
Yep. So it's on your left cheek. I was scratching my right,
Left-
but it's on your left.
Left cheek.
Yep.
Okay.
Based on where you're oriented in the bar, with the bar being to your left side of your face would be exposed. As for the rest of them, so a frag grenade has a damage of 6.
Rip.
So they basically deal damage plus the difference in success levels. Now, the vast majority of them were at a 0 differential. However,
Ragu.
good old Ragu with a 98 has a lovely -4 success levels. His body is picked up as the explosion basically is at his feet, and he is launched backwards into one of the support beams of the bar and actually cracks the roof bending as he flies through it. He's not dead, but he is getting up and he is bloody as hell, bleeding from multiple places. And at this point, you see as bar decorum has fallen and he is reaching for the pistol he keeps. You threw a
that's
grenade.
called justified.
You
That's
threw a grenade. We are out of bar fight, and people are scrambling for weapons.
That's cool. I still get to move, right?
You do.
So, I'm doing one of these hi-ya, and I'm about facing and strolling out the bar because I don't look at explosions anyhow. And away I go.
All right. So the frag didn't kill anyone. It didn't do enough damage. 6 damage. I actually am shocked that a frag grenade damage feels so low, but the
Does that
amount of
thing
damage it
stun
did to people
people
around
or
it.
anything like that with the blast or whatever?
So the blast trait does not create a stun. It does basically make it so you can hit everyone in a zone. The other trait of the frag, where did that go?
Loud, I think it was.
Loud just means it's very easy to hear. And then frag grenade is also... Ordnance is just a subtype of weapon.
Oh, okay.
No, there's no stun.
Down. Okay.
Yeah, there's no stun effect. It's blast, loud, thrown, unstable. So no stun is caused. That being said, you did just successfully deal 6, 12, 18, 36, 46, 55 wounds across 7 people with only 1 person passing their save.
I'll be honest, that was way more than I thought was going to happen from a frag grenade. I thought from 40k at tabletop.
Yeah,
that's frag grenades are lame. So okay, that's amazing.
Frag grenades are great, especially because none of them had armor on.
Glad I used it.
Yeah. In a bar, you're realizing that most people don't wear their armor, or if they do, they might have like leathers on. That's it. Yeah, lots of damage dealt. Lots of people frustrated. Regel's, as he's standing and reaching for that pistol, his leathers are like smoking. So you walk away not looking at explosions. Quentin, you had purgated your charges. We are back to the top of initiative order, which means that the 2 individuals following you, Mordecai, they were running into the smoke. Okay.
They trip and break their necks. How
Okay.
tragic.
So, because you dropped the smoke grenade and then ducked behind something and ran off to the side slightly, you moved out of the smoke but into a different zone. You see over your shoulder as they both come out, one zone to your right. They sprinted through the smoke and are out on the other side, but they're now an entire zone away on the right. They've come out on the other side of the edge of the smoke. Probably about 25 feet away from you, 30 feet away from you. We go with feet, not meters, just because my brain works better that way.
Is it my turn?
It is top of the order now. It is your turn.
I am going to... Now, they look like they're running... Okay, so I ran diagonally.
You ran diagonally.
Kind of come out from behind this crate, and I see them off to my right.
You come out from behind the crate. You see them off to your right, 30 feet away, and the one who is closer to you, the armored man, is looking head on a swivel for you.
I am going to drop back behind these crates, and I am going to attempt to hide.
Give me a stealth check. And because you are ducking back behind the crates, you will get advantage.
Just straight up stealth, right?
Straight up stealth. Move silently is not going to help you here.
That's +2.
Okay. +2. All right, you're going to sit tight and you're going to hide. Next up in the initiative order, good old Roderick Wrangler.
I will continue to move toward where I know Mordecai is.
Sprinting towards the gate. I'm just going to assume that you're on a dead sprint to the gate every turn.
Reminder, I rolled basically a 1 on my running athletics or whatever. So, yeah, yep. I'm getting there as fast as I fucking can.
Okay, and we're going to carry that test over because you're just sprinting through. Technically, you should have to roll that every single turn. That doesn't make sense because you rolled a 001, so enjoy the benefits.
Word.
All right, so you sprint with your athletics check. That was how many success levels again?
I don't know. Athletics. My athletics is a 28, so 2.
Okay, so you're moving 2 success levels. That means you're easily moving. We'll say that you'll move 2 zones as you're sprinting, just because you're unimpeded and it's not a combat space. So because you're not actually moving through real zones, you're moving down a street. You're chewing it up. You think that you'll reach the mud gate in about 6-7 minutes of running.
Cool.
Yeah. The walk
He'll be dead by then, but that's okay.
The walk that took Mordecai 45 minutes, you're going to run in under 10. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Mainly because Mordecai, again, you were following Aragon, who was...
And he was sauntering a bit and talking.
He was sauntering. Okay.
Shaking his hips.
After Mr. Roderick Wrangler, we are back to Quentin. So, Quentin, you have watched the bar literally explode in a frag grenade. and people are kind of milling about.
And I noticed Regu noticed me.
You did, and others are looking for weapons. So,
is Regu still the next zone over?
At this point, I'm going to say that because the grenade blew up at his feet and kind of propelled him, he got launched at what is now a different zone over. The grenade created a new zone because it created a crater in the center of the bar and collapsed portions of the bar itself. So Ragu is now the equivalent of 3 zones away from you.
3 zones, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be very far away.
Yeah, he was 1 zone away. He got moved over a zone. So he's in zone 1. Zone 2 is the crater. Zone 3 is where you are. So zone 1 is where he is. Zone 1 is where he is. Zone 2 is the crater. Zone 3 is the opposite side of the crater. You are at the doors, which is technically zone 4.
Okay, there you go. That makes more sense. And since he's that far away, I am just going to dip out the door.
Okay. All right, you dip out the door. Are you guys running towards the lift as well?
Yeah, I guess I'll start just heading that way.
Okay.
So I'm going to start haul. In fact, my action will just be to start sprinting.
Okay, so Dmitry and Quentin, give me a joint athletics test just for your sprinting, because now we are going to turn this into a massive pursuit.
If they can find us.
So
True.
Oh,
a pursuit. This pursuit's happening before we resolve the rest of the initiatives, or
the pursuit
how's
is
that
now
working?
is so a pursuit is basically when there's a lot of movement. We have a couple different things happening as you guys are now departing the bar and you are far enough away from Rigel to do so. The 3 zone differential is going to start him in pursuit of you should he choose with a differential of 3. You guys are not in pursuit with Mordecai yet. You're too far away. However, Mordecai is in pursuit with the 2 people chasing him. Mordecai, your differential is currently also 3.
So there's one thing I was trying to do.
Sure.
You tell me where or if it can fit in.
Yeah.
I wanted to throw on my administratum robes once I got outside the building and then dip out.
Do you want to do that inside of the building, or would you want to duck down an alley out of sight?
No, I peel out of the door.
Mhm.
Once I break line of sight with the dudes I aggressed with the grenade,
Sure.
I want to throw that on and then start moving.
Because you are next in initiative order, I will say that you can take a couple steps to be out of sight, throw those on, and then we are on to pursuit.
Straight. Okay.
Okay,
I got
so
lucky with my athletics roll. I got a +0.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's athletics.
Yes, sir.
My athletics is not good.
Mine isn't either. We're going to be some slow dudes. Oh, boy. Or I just, broke an ankle or something. So that's a -5.
Okay, so with a -5, we're going to say that because you are putting on your robes, you guys only make it 1 more zone of movement. So you will have a gap of 4. So Quentin and Dmitry, I got to make notes here. Pursuits ×2.
I'm going to tell Dmitry if they get within a zone next to us, I'm just going to turn around and fight them.
Okay.
This is good plan. I free up my las gun.
And if anything, I want to do this in a fashion that would attempt to surprise them in the fact that we're all of a sudden just turning it on them if they catch up.
Okay. So before we jump into this, I think that having a plan of when you're going to turn and fight is a great idea. I want to talk through the rules of a pursuit. We only ever ran into it one time in Warhammer Fantasy. I doubt anyone is very apt of the rules here in Imperium Maledictum. Pursuits represent desperate chases of groups of individuals and groups of protagonists and antagonists through different environs. You've each been assigned a starting value. Now, Quentin and Dmitry, with your actions taken, your starting value has increased from 3 to 4. Okay. Mordecai, your starting value is still 3. All right. So that is important because what happens now is, and Mordecai, yours is going to be a little different because you're also trying to stealth. What happens now is we begin to throw different tests into the mix, and you're going to take them as a group. So Quentin and Dmitry, you are each going to roll. The worst of your results counts. It's not an average of the 2 because you guys are operating as a group. Mordecai, your individual result will count, and you are tested against the people chasing you. If ever the distance cuts from the value I give you, which is 3 and 4, to 1, you are caught. If you get to 10, you get away, and it's a difference in success level. Now, Mordecai, we're jumping up to the top. Roderick, you're still sprinting. Mordecai.
Yes.
You've attempted to hide. Okay. Would you like to engage the pursuit to run, or do you want to focus on hiding? If you run, you have to break your cover, or you can stay hidden and think if you think you're okay.
I'm going to hide here for another round at least.
Okay.
I'm pretty comfortable with what I rolled on it at least.
Okay. All right. So then we're going to jump over to the two people chasing you, because they're going to do a little something. I just want to see if this will work.
That sounds meta.
Nope. It's based on something that already happened in the past. Okay, there's that. And I just need to check the... Okay. All right. They are going to... You had a success of +2, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. It doesn't matter when I roll a 004.
Oh, so they were running to get me in a different direction, but they definitely see me hiding here. Got it.
Well, so as I mentioned, they came out of the smoke and had been attempting to see you. So you'd seen his head on a swivel. So this was his test to see if he saw you before you hid versus your hide. With a 004, that's a +6. So you duck behind the crates and you think you're very well hidden. And they move. Your gap cuts to 2. But that's that. All right. Dmitry, Quentin, we're on to the races here for you guys. So Rigel is going to give chase as you... I got to see what's his initiative. Oh, he's definitely faster than you guys. Okay, Rigel, you see as you guys made your one zone of movement, Rigel has rounded the corner and is clambering out of the crater. So the pursuit is on in full for you three. All right. What I need from both of you is we are going to do a joint athletics test, y'all versus Rigel, and that'll determine the gap. So you two roll each, and I got to roll for Rigel. Let me see who wins.
So
as we're starting around this, okay, go Dmitry.
Are we in combat?
You are not technically in combat. You're in a pursuit. Well, you could argue that a combat or a pursuit is a type of combat. Well, sure.
I just need to know because the talent of mine does 2 different things. One in combat, one out.
Which talent?
Distracting.
So this would be considered, for the sake of distracting for a pursuit, it would get the combat rules of it. You're not able
Basically,
to just...
it's either I use it or I use it as a reaction.
Yeah,
is the
because
difference.
you're in a pursuit, you would use it as a reaction. So we're going to treat it as a combat roll for that talent.
Okay. So I would like to use distracting.
Okay.
And I guess I'm going to roll it into the grenade, honestly.
Okay.
And I don't know. I want to give him disadvantage. I can either do it from the grenade, he's still stunned, or I can make some shit up and throw something at him.
Yeah, sure. If you use
it's not clear on the distance. That's the part I'm.
Let me take a peek.
A little weird on.
So you want to use the distracting talent in combat with the grenade, essentially, to create some kind of distraction for him, right?
That was my thought. If the grenade is too far past, I've got something else I can huck at him to also distract him.
Let me take one peek really quick. So distracting. Once per encounter, when you use the distraction talent, your next target is stunned until the end of their next turn.
No, I don't think that's what it is.
Not stunning interjection?
I give them disadvantage on the test. I don't have the second level of distracting to do that.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you can use this talent once per encounter to interrupt another individual making a test. Yeah, you can use it right now. So you can say that the grenade going off imposed disadvantage on him for his athletics test. Absolutely.
Okay.
All right, so as he's clambering out of the crater, athletics tests across the board. Well,
I rolled the 34. It's a 33, so that's a negative. That
Negative 0.
34 on
Negative
33
0?
is negative 0.
Okay, that's what I got.
Okay. Quentin, how'd you do?
Athletics test? Okay. I'm saying in my mind, as we're running away to Dmitry, we might just want to turn around at some point and fight. I got an 11, so that's a +1.
Okay. Thanks to
You
disadvantage.
say the word. Say the word.
Thanks
I'm
to
actively looking for a spot to ambush them. To turn around and ambush them. Just heads up as we're running away.
Okay.
thanks to the disadvantage, Rigel also got a negative 0. The distance doesn't close, maintains to be 4.
Yeah.
Roderick, I just have this image of every time we pan to Roderick of it being that scene from Monty Python where they're just constantly running at the castle but never getting any closer, and it's just the da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
No, I'm Tom Cruise running through the streets.
Okay, all right.
That's probably Quentin and Dmitry. We haven't made any headway.
So
We're slow as fuck, too.
you are pretty slow. It's very true.
Which is why we're going to turn around and fight this because we're not getting away.
Oh, God. Mordecai. You're up, my friend. You are muted as well.
I sure am. Just preparing my character for when he can no longer talk. But anyway, I do have a specialization in hide, but it doesn't actually matter because the plus was the same anyway. But just
Dude, you almost got
Future
Brad to
reference.
spit out
Good
his
to know.
drink.
you okay, buddy?
I almost just spit Celsius all over my notes as you go. I'm just preparing for when my character can no longer speak. I'm holding my hands below my mouth so that I don't spit out my drink onto my notes. Thankfully, I didn't spit any of it after years of learning how not to spit up a drink when made to laugh while drinking, thanks to your brother, Dmitry.
I have comments. Anyway, so I guess
Are they comments like your test coming back negative for your PC?
nope.
All right, continuing on.
Anyway, I feeling that I'm fairly well hidden.
Yeah.
I'm going to take this opportunity to kind of peek around the crate to see if they've left my sight yet or not.
Okay. So as you peek,
What do I see, Brad?
give me an awareness perception sight. And you're going to have advantage because they are taller than pretty much everyone around them. So if you don't see them, I'm going to be shocked.
40. +1.
You have advantage, so that 40 should be a 4.
Oh, yeah. Okay. 4. So +5.
Beautiful.
And it's an auto success, too.
Yeah, it is an auto success. So as you check, as you lean around the crates, you see as they are making their way over towards your general area. It's not obvious that they know exactly where you are, but they are coming closer. And as you watch, you see as the big guy with a +5, you see everything. The big one, as he pulls back, he smacks a citizen out of the way, just clubs them across the head, and blood erupts out of one of their...
Well, that should draw
Broken
some
skin.
attention to him. I'm just going to let him damn himself.
As he does this, Mordecai, to finish this description is important. As he does this, you see that there are branded tattoos up the inside of his arms. The plate armor only covers the upper exterior. And as he flails out like this, his cloak flares open, and you see that there is a chain axe bolted to his hip.
That
Don't like
sounds scary.
It's bad.
It's not a good thing if they catch you with that. And I'm not going to make you roll lore wise, just so you know a chain axe is exactly what it sounds like. It's a chainsaw built into an axe.
Yeah. No, it sounds pretty bad, sure.
Yep.
You ain't no pine tree.
I consider myself to be an oak. Anyway, I am going to kind of mentally take note of, I'm assuming they're coming straight towards me. I am going to...
Yeah, they're moving their way towards you, weaving through the crowd a bit, shove the one smack of the citizen to get him out of the way. But again, with a +5, it's obvious they don't know exactly where you are. They just know about the area.
Yeah, so I'm going to take this opportunity
Okay.
to run back to where I started. Now we're 3 turns in.
This is going to be...
This is my third
This
movement.
is your third turn. It's the second turn after the grenade went down.
I gotta see how long the grenades last. I think it's 3 turns, but I am gonna drift back towards the smoke.
Okay.
So I think I can make it to the square where my smoke was, because that's 2 from where I am. So I'm gonna go from the crates. I'm gonna dip down the best I can and sprint back into the obscured area and try to get to the opposite side of the crates. I know I can't take cover, but I just want to at least get to the other side of them.
Okay, so you're going to use your action then to move two zones, and you move first into the edge of the lightly obscuring smoke and then further into the depth of it where you dropped it, where there are other crates, if I'm understanding you correct.
And I am going to try to get on the side of the crates that would be advantageous to be on to not be in their line of sight.
So you're trying to not only move diagonal, but also essentially move counterclockwise to keep rotating away from them.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to try to not be by them. That is the goal.
Absolutely, totally. I think that's a great goal. All right. So you may with your pursuit is a little different because we're using your pursuit as a stealth pursuit at this point. So that will absolutely be okay. You move into the lightly obscuring and then into the heavily obscuring smoke of your grenade. Triple check whether it's 3 rounds or 4 before it fades, and we will then narratively explain that further.
Okay,
Roderick. You are.
I need some like Rocky theme music. I'm running up the stairs.
You really do. We need something.
3 rounds, Brad. Heavily obscured for 3 rounds.
Heavily obscured for 3 rounds. Okay, so this is the last round of heavy obscurement, and it will fade. So Roderick, Mordecai, you move into the heavy obscurement, and it's starting to lighten. You know it's coming.
Hey, one last thing, because it does have this caveat. This duration can be extended or shortened depending on the ventilation, such as enclosed spaces or strong winds. We are outside. I'm assuming the standard is probably correct.
I'm going to leave it as the standard because between the downdraft and the backwash of all the ships, the ventilation of the area, but coupled with all the other heavy fumes, we're going to let it linger for 3. Nothing's clearing it out. It's just not going to last longer.
Cool.
Roderick, what's your montage song as you're running?
Flash.
Da-na-na.
All right, fair enough. Oh, Roderick, this entire episode is just a constant flashback to you just sprinting through the streets.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you're still just running. Dmitry and Quentin, here we go. The disadvantage has worn off. The gap didn't close, but what ended up happening was, Dmitry, as you were putting on your robes and then attempting to run away, as Ragel was crawling out of the crater from the grenade, he grabbed a piece of loose brick and fell back into the crater as you kind of like half tripped on your own robes, putting them on as you guys are now moving. So, second pursuit roll. Oh God, -4.
Fuck yeah.
-2.
-2.
15. So that's 2 successes.
Okay, so with the two gap, you've moved from being 4 apart to 6 apart because the -2 reigns here. So as Rigel attempts to sprint after you, others pouring out of the bar impede his progress, and he's jostling through them. He pulls his las pistol, realizes you're too far, and puts it back, and you guys gain 2 additional spaces of distance. You need 4 more to get away.
I'm still looking for places to ambush him potentially.
Agreed.
So to ambush him, you can drop out of a pursuit at any time and just duck down one of the alleys. Absolutely. You don't have to continue this pursuit.
I'm well aware of this, but I want to find a place that would be very advantageous for our ambushing them because we're going to be outnumbered.
Okay. Then what I would like you to do is give me both of you, if you're both looking for that, an awareness sight test at disadvantage. It's going to be challenging +0 at disadvantage because you are in a pursuit while trying to find this.
Yeah. Can I
roll a
challenge
20?
that?
Sure.
Grew up in a hive.
Mm-hmm.
Lay ambushes for a profession.
I'll let you roll without disadvantage.
Since we're in constant communication,
I'll let you roll without disadvantage. But Quentin does not have your experience. He is still sprinting. So Quentin's at disadvantage. You're not. That's a good argument.
I'm
Even
just
with
telling this nerd what to
disadvantage,
do.
I got a +3.
Even with this,
I'm sorry, I missed what the skill check we were rolling this time for this.
awareness sight.
Awareness.
I rolled a 20.
Yeah, a 20 at disadvantage is a great roll.
Yeah.
I rolled a 30 and 31, so that's +0.
So, all right, and you said you had a +3, Quentin?
Yeah.
All right, so with a +0 and a +3, you both easily identify that there is an alley just a little bit up that is narrower than others. Looks like it's a bit of a choke point where you can create a little bit of a narrower space to not get overwhelmed by numbers. Looks about as good as any spot if you're going to try to ambush the Valathi knives that are chasing you.
I'm going to point to Dmitry to start heading that direction. So if he starts gaining quickly on us on the next round, we'll set up an ambush there.
Your alley is 2 zones away. 1 zone forward and then into the alley.
Yep.
Okay.
We're heading that direction.
All right. Mordecai, we're jumping to you, and then Roderick will finally hit. We're going to say, Roderick, we're going to montage you to hitting the gate at this point because you've been waiting patiently this whole time. Mordecai, you've cut back into the smoke. The smoke is beginning to fade now. What I'd like is you've moved around the crates. Give me another stealth check, challenging +0. I'm going to give you advantage only because the smoke is fading, but it's not fully gone. The heavily obscured is gone, but I'm going to say there's still a little bit of light obscurement from the smoke.
Well, that's a 10. So is that a 1?
A 10 is it a, do you have percentile die? Is it 001 or 0?
No, it's 0. It's 1 0 and a 0. So
Then
it's
it's
10.
Then it
Does
one
it make it a 0?
One
Makes it a 1
and a 0. That's a 10, yes.
I know. Did you say I have advantage?
That is a 1, yes.
It
you
is
do
a
have
1.
advantage. Okay,
Hell yeah.
all right. How many
was
success
confused.
levels does that give you?
Straight up stealth, that's 5 success levels.
Okay.
Awesome.
I'm
Great
really
timing.
glad you had advantage because your 1 on the die will then give you a better roll than my 8 on the die. So you said 5 success levels?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you use his superiority here?
No.
Okay.
Because I'm going to rule that because, number 1, he's so far from you, he does not get that automatic superiority, but also he does not have superiority in this case. They outnumber him, and there are 2 of them looking for him. That's his. Okay. So your 5 success levels with an 8 on the die for their awareness. They do have 6 success levels. So as you step behind the crates again,
Don't I auto succeed with a 1?
you do auto succeed on the check. Yeah, it's still opposed. So you're still comparing numbers of
Okay.
success levels.
Got it.
As you kind of step behind the crates a bit, you begin to slink out to the side. I'm not going to say they found you from hiding because they didn't. You're hidden very well. But as you begin to move in that counterclockwise fashion you described, as you step out from behind one of the boxes, they kind of are looking and scanning, and it's just horrid timing that you step out to take cover behind another set of boxes as his eyes settle on you.
Do I notice this?
Absolutely.
Or
Yep, absolutely noticed.
how far away is he?
2 zones again. They haven't gotten closer. They just keep going. You guys are going in circles around each other.
Mm-hmm.
So you are still 2 zones away. So now my question to you, Mordecai, is what would you like to do with those 2 zones? Because if you're going to run, and to preface this with how you rotated, the gate is the lift is directly in front of you, a few zones away. So if you choose to run, it becomes a pursuit to see if you can make the lift before they catch you. If you get the lift and you start descending, they're not going to catch you. You know this.
Mm-hmm. How crazy would it be if I shot at them again?
Hell yeah.
I mean,
They're probably going to be on you next round.
I am definitely gonna die if I shoot at him again. But I almost want to anyway.
I mean, not necessarily.
It's your call, man. You got a
Now, Brad,
straight path.
I do have a question between distinguishing between fleeing and
Yeah.
running.
Yeah.
Fleeing takes me. I guess it doesn't matter. It's more of if the group is in a fight and I flee, I'm kind of abandoning the group. Is kind of how I'm reading it.
Right.
So I guess disregard everything I just said.
Yeah. Think of fleeing specifically if you're in a group-based combat and you leave people behind.
Yeah, because then I'm out of the battle. Obviously, I can't just do that.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
I am going to run towards the lift.
Okay. Now keep in mind, just as a reminder, I know you're worried about them catching you. You do have 2 fate points that will allow you to die another day if they catch you. All right. So you're going to take off to lift. It's a true pursuit.
There is no other day. There is only today.
You're gonna take off to lift. It's a true pursuit. I need an athletics test opposed by their athletic test.
Oh, dude, athletics is horrible for me. This is not good.
It's okay. One of them is the.
It's not good.
One of the 2 chasing you is the one shrouded in dark robes with long taloned fingers. I don't think she's very athletic either. We're gonna find out.
With how you've been rolling, Brad, she probably is gonna do fine.
She's probably a demon.
-2.
I don't even know that I need to roll the other one, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Okay. Well, his +5 doesn't matter because her 72. Mordecai, what was your total? You were -2 success levels?
Yes.
That's -5. You're going to increase your gap to 9.
That makes me feel a little better.
You were -2 and she was -5. That's only 3, not 7. You increase your gap to 5.
No, I don't know. We can use different math.
No.
Congressional math is fine.
We're not trying to balance the pursuit sheet here, okay? Roderick, we're going to finally give you some action here, my friend.
Oh, no.
You see as one of the PDF guards kind of stands standing at the lift. I'm sorry, not the PDF guards, but the Vigilite, the Makarian Vigilite, seems to put his hand up over his eyes. And if you could hear him, you'd hear him saying to his buddy, "He's been running for a long time and doesn't seem to be getting any closer." You reach the lift. You reach the lift, and the Vigilites look at you. Go, whoa! What's the rush?
Does he stab someone with his sword?
Stab someone. Just hear ah.
The
lift is there, Roderick. I just rolled to check that.
All right. I'm getting on the lift and going to where I need to go. I don't remember how many up or down this is, but
2 levels up.
2.
So
going up.
You after an entire session of da 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 da, you get on the elevator and you hear you get on the lift and you hear slow elevator music for the next 15 minutes. But you are rising up to the mudgate.
Are these Vigilites on the lift with me?
Nope. They let you onto the lift and just let you go. Roderick, as you sprint onto the lift without stopping, roll me a rapport charm test, as you're going to have to throw some kind of a cheeky comment out, or you're going to be slapped with a "you didn't pay the fine. You didn't pay the toll fine."
Rapport charm, that is a 44 out of a 45, so +0.
Your +0 definitely beats the -5. And as you sprint by, as the one's going, "He's been running without moving for so long," and the other one goes, "Oh wait, what's the rush?" What do you say?
I'm still gonna say, "Gotta take a shit, step aside."
Fair. The Vigilites go, "Lift's all yours. We'll let this one fly. You're okay." The second Vigilite goes, "Why are we going to let him take the lift for free, even if he's going to shit himself? It's still 3 solars." You hear the first
and it's already
Vigilite go. The lift is already rising, and as it does, you hear the first Vigilite go, "I just shit myself on duty last week. I'm not letting that happen to another man. I'll pay the solars."
You're a saint.
They rolled -6 success levels. I literally rolled a 95.
They actually shit their pants while rolling.
I can't roll poorly while trying to track Mordecai, and I keep rolling like single digits. And then for the ridiculous things like this, I'm hitting the 90s. Here we go.
Yeah, let's switch that up.
I would love to. Speaking of that, Quentin and Dmitry.
Yes.
Pursuit. Oh, that's better. Thank God.
-1.
-3.
-3. Oh God. Okay, guys. So -3 and -1 doesn't matter. You're only a couple zones away. That is a plus athletics. Oh, actually, no, it's not. It's a -0. So, still with a -3 to a -0, he would jump 3 closer to you. But you two reach the alley and veer down it as he's quickly closing the gap.
What
I'm
was
asking
his
Dmitry.
distance as we rounded the corner?
So his distance was 6 zones,
Zone
cut
wise?
to 3 zones as you round the corner.
3 zones?
Yep.
So is that long range?
That is long range, yes. Medium is 2.
Okay. All right. This is a good spot.
Medium's the next zone over,
Yeah, which is,
isn't it?
well, I guess technically I'm considering that 2 because I consider your zone to be zone 1. Because yes, short range is your zone, median range is the next zone, and then long range is 2 zones, and then beyond that is extreme range or something like that.
So he's at extreme range then right now.
All right, here we go.
Well, but
Immediate-
he's not in line of sight because we rounded the corner. Right?
2 zones, 3 zones. Correct. Oh, you're right. You're right, Quentin. I'm looking at my GM guide. I'm like, there's got to be something on this screen for ranges. There it is, hidden in a corner. He's out of sight, Dmitry.
Okay.
Far out.
Okay. That's your test.
Before that, I'm turning to Dmitry and psychically saying, do we want to stop and ambush him?
Okay.
Now is the time. And
Okay.
I'm going to train my laser gun at the opening we just rounded.
Nope.
I'm readying a smite for the turn,
No?
whatever
Okay.
can.
No readying because you guys are in a pursuit, which means you're actually sprinting.
Sorry. Not
Did he
late.
say lays?
That was... Sorry, I was trying not to break immersion,
He's-
Brad, but okay.
He said it.
My bad.
He said
You
it.
said it.
He said the thing.
Who said
What's that?
lays?
You
Because it makes
said
way more
lays.
sense.
You said it.
Who said lays? Not me.
Mike
Dmitry
said
did.
lays.
Did I?
You
Oh.
sure
No,
did, because
Mike.
you've known in your
Oh.
heart this whole time that it's right. That finally came out.
Traitor.
I think what I know in my heart is that I'm just a piece of shit. So no, yes, I acknowledge I said that. That doesn't make it right.
Would you like
It actually
original
might
or
make
kettle
it
cooked?
less right, I guess.
So Dmitry, Quentin, yes, you guys spinning to set up the ambush, totally allowed. I just wanted to clarify for mechanics, you can't have
Oh
something
yeah,
ready.
I didn't mean like yeah,
Okay,
not that
just
kind
making
of ready.
sure. Just
The-
making sure.
The royal wedded. Ready.
Okay.
God, I can't talk at all. Man, you guys F me up.
All right, Mordecai.
I would like to counter, though, because we're stopping in the turn.
Yep.
As he's closing the distance coming up, we
Mhm.
might be able to ready an action then.
You're still going to get to act in initiative order, and because you're choosing not to pursue, if he rounds that corner at a full sprint, which he's likely going to because it's a pursuit, you would get a real action. His action would have been running.
Okay. I just want to make
Okay.
sure we're
There's just
going
I'm
to
just going to
surprise him.
clarify. This is not D&D 5e. There is no such thing as readying an action. I will clarify that now, so I don't have to clarify it again because
There is. It's called Overwatch.
Overwatch is different. That's on your
No, it's
turn
not.
using the Overwatch action, and if it doesn't trigger, then yes. But yes, that's similar but different, Quentin. Similar but different. All right, Mordecai.
Yes.
As we are quickly somehow reaching the end of episode 13, you are
Yeah.
you got a little bit of extra distance because they rolled terribly, and you are just a little bit away from making that mudgate lift. I need a pursuit check. Give me that good athletics, please.
No, it's -4. My
Well-
athletics is terrible. It's like my second worst skill.
-4 is a great time for one of them to roll a -0 and one of them to roll a +4. So -0 it shall be. They sprint, making their way through the crowds a little easier than you do. And as you are reaching the line for the gate, they come up behind you. One zone away, in full sight of God, the Vigilites, maybe not the God Emperor, but everyone else. And as they reach that zone directly behind you, coming up to almost get into the line themselves, we will find out what happens on episode 14.
Some
I
little
love-
bitch pile of monkey nuts. God damn.
So many cliffhangers right now. So many cliffhangers.
I should have turned around and shot and died with honor.
Where's that XP?
Isn't sneakily running honorable for a penumbra, though?
Technically, probably it is.
Yeah.
Where's
You're
that
good,
XP?
man.
The answer is not yet, but soon. We're almost there.
All
right.
right. I'll take that answer.
You guys are you deserve to know that you're almost there, but not this time. This is not the XP day. All right, on that note, that brings us to the end of episode 13. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to head on over to deadsonscode.com for the latest news and our socials. If you like what you heard and want to support us, please consider heading over to patreon.com/deadsonscompany to show some love. Check out some of the extra things we have, including different content, different pieces, occasional reviews. We'll talk with you and hang out in our Discord. But until then, we're Dead Sons Company. We'll see you for the next episode.